This decoding will be about boots on the ground. While that song seems to have caught on like wildfire, and y'all are not going to hear something that you have heard before, I'm bringing this to you raw and untamed and uncut. Now, first of all, the way that I came to this was reading into the energy of boots on the ground. And what I realized was that energy is connected to that particular phrase. And that phrase represents going to war. It is a military phrase used to get people ready for war. Now, one thing that I was wondering was why no one else had talked about this, and I found it to be strange, because I've been doing these decodings since I started having visions in 2006 after my first near-death experience. And now it's like a viral thing. It's even like a trendy thing. So I was really a little bit shocked that nobody was talking about this, and I intentionally sat back and waited to see if anybody was going to talk about this, and nobody has. So here we go. We're going to get into it, and as I said, this will be information that you haven't heard anywhere else before. So I am a military brat, and because my father was in the military, we traveled a lot, and that's not a coincidence. This goes back to my Akashic records. I have a past life in ancient Egypt, not the one in the West, the one in Africa. And in that past life, my nickname was the Bone Crusher. And I was a man in that past life. Using the past life ceremony that I posted here on Patreon a while back was how I was able to start retrieving some of this past life experiences. So I chose a dad who was in the military and a veteran now, because there were some things that I did not heal from me being a part of the military in ancient Egypt. Okay, so let me give you all this information and pull this up so that you can see this. All right, so as indigenous people, there's a specific type of force field that we can create, and we can move energy in ways that are unique to people who have eumelanin. It's different than phenomelanin. And because our melanin has these unique attributes, we are considered to be culture creators, because what we do, what we say, how we dress, all of these things create culture. And the culture that we create over here in the United States, which I will refer to as Kemet, okay, for a specific reason. But if you notice, all across the world, people try to emulate, quote unquote, black people in America on every continent. That's not a coincidence. Back in the late 90s was when I first learned about the culture creators. So the cabal would hire melanated people to create culture, and then they would create music videos, movies, songs, trends for fashion based on that culture. And they were using a form of high magic to create this. And this is how they socially engineer people. This is a form of mass hypnosis. So a lot of the people that they were hiring, of course, couldn't talk about it, but this was a section of the military. And this is similar to the branch of MK Ultra. So because we have experienced many traumatic events, and many of us didn't know we needed to heal them, right, until you awakened, it's easier to embed codes subliminally in our subconscious mind and alter our behavior without us noticing. At least it used to be. So when I first heard Boots on the Ground, I thought it was catchy, but I remembered the culture creators, and I was like, wait a minute. This is like the gatekeepers, right? These are new gatekeepers that they're putting in place to call for war. And so my first question was, let's see what's going on with astrology. So in 2025, a significant planetary shift, which was Neptune entering into Aries and Uranus entering into Gemini, and they echoed the astrological conditions from the Civil War. And those exact same astrological placements are happening right now. And I'm recording this in late July of 2025. So these transits, combined with some other major planetary movements, suggest a year of disruption, transformation, specifically in areas of communication, beliefs, and societal structures, or the culture. Now, these are echoes of the Civil War. Neptune in Aries, and Aries is the warring energy. Neptune's ingress into Aries, which happened in March 2025, mirrors its position during the Civil War, a period marked by heightened idealism, spiritual rebellion, and a lot of people started to focus on individual action, like what can I do myself, right? And so this is why we're going to see a lot of people rising up